Good afternoon, Tuesday Man, always yours page, aka the Emperor of WMMA Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, as you know, on my channel, I do talk about women in mixed martial arts as often as I can. Right now, as you know, it's kind of quiet and slow in the bodybuilding world. And like I said, I want to keep up more on my MMA content, especially in WMMA. Anyway, I want to shout out to my dear friends, and I call my family from CS Combat Sport, my man, the coach, my sister, TK Brown, Cowboy Boogie 99, my brother, um, XA Gucci 23, also BJ of No Filter, and also my man, WMA Addict. And they talked about this stuff a lot. And like I said, I want to, really be a content maker, which gives the voice for women in mixed martial arts. But anyway, they've been talking about this stuff that's been going around for about the last few days. As you know, Amanda Nunes, as I call her, the lion ass queen, or the double champ, was offered the opportunity to fight, for defending her 135 title. It wasn't that long ago, since I think it was like past summer when she fought to retain her title against Juliana Pena. And as they picked her opponent was going to be Irene Adania. And Irene Adania, as you know, she's a fighter from Mexico. She's also friends and training mates with Alexa Grasso. And Irene was, Amanda was over an opportunity to fight Irene. And UFC gave it to her, but she turned it down. And I'm saying, why are you ducking the fade? This is the thing about Amanda Nunes. She ducks fades, and sometimes she delay fades, and that's why I don't like her. She's a decent fighter, but a good fighter, great fighter. But personally, she's just not a great person. It's just like I said, I'm not a fan of it. I know people like Gucci 23 and Batty B, they love her, but I don't have no love for Amanda Nunes. She's been fighting for nearly 20 years, you might as well say. You can't count the fights. You don't really, she's fighting since for a long time. Stuff that in Brazil, the fights you don't even know about. And the foreigners you do know about. She has a good record. Not her win ratio is higher than loss ratio. That's the thing is about a good fighter. You don't want too close your win losses to be too close. And she beat Misha Tate for the title, and that's been almost 6-7 years ago, just about. And then she beat, Ronda Rousey. She came back. And I got to give this to Ronda Rousey. She came back. Unlike Gina Carano, after she lost to Cyborg, she just ducked and ran. And, and now, she retired Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's now over WWE, wrestling, and that's probably a good move for her, and she was one of the popular women. She really was the women who really gave a footprint for women in MMA, especially in organizations like the UFC. But then I think her biggest trial was her and Valentina. She did beat Valentina for opportunity for title contention. But then that second fight, it was a close fight. And I know, James Perez, you think Valentina won, but like I said, the truth is on paper, she lost. And it was a close fight. And like I said, I'm a Valentina fan, and I have to accept the reality that she lost that fight against Amanda Nunes. But she's still a good fighter, still one of the best. And then one part that really broke my heart was Cyborg lost to Amanda Nunes. I wanted Cyborg to beat. I wanted Cyborg to knock that smirk off Amanda Nunes' face, but Cyborg I don't know. It's just one of those fights where she just let her emotions get the better of her. And like I said, we lost a good opportunity in rematch because Dana White beat her. His issues with Cyborg. I mean, man, you messed up a great rematch. We probably would have saw a good war. And I believe Cyborg would have won it, especially get a second chance at Amanda Nunes. And everybody knows that Holly Holmes is the grandma of the UFC right now, and her fight against Amanda Nunes was an opportunity they want to see, the fighter they want to see. And Holly, she lost via a head kick, the same thing that got her the title that Amanda Nunes beat her with. And and Holly just, I think Holly should really think about retirement. I mean, you're getting up there now. She's gonna be 42 this year, and you can't keep going. She's right now. I think she's currently the oldest fighter in the UFC right now. And and then also, other than Valentina, Jermaine Uranimi has been one of I would say Amanda's biggest competitors. I mean, they fought twice. He fought for the title for a while back, but Jermaine just didn't have the overall skills to beat Amanda. She had good stand up, but her ground game was one of her worst performance ever. Amanda has no real. I'm sorry, not Amanda. I mean, Jermaine has no real ground game, being that she's a Muay Thai fan for a long time, and that's what she needs to work on. And then what she did to Felicia Spencer, the phenom, or I call her soccer mom, she just smashed that girl. That girl took a beating between Amanda Nunes and Cyborg. That's why she had to retire. Those are two bad beatings. And then Megan Anderson, I call her the Aussie vampire. I mean, there was so much talk about this girl, but then she gets put out with a crazy a crazy submission. Look at this thing. I mean, it looks like Amanda's like an anaconda choking her out and also at the same time submitting her. I mean, it's just crazy. And just now we're happening to Megan. Megan's now, she left and she retired. Now she's over in Invicta doing commentary and social media stuff, and she's on Twitch. That's maybe a good move for her now. She was never really that person that really just really proven herself to be that good of a fighter. And then she had a relationship with Nina. They've been together for quite some time, and now they're a family with a baby and stuff like that. And maybe that may have took some edge off Amanda. Sometimes when you remember one of my Baron Roethlisberger, when he got married and stopped crashing motorcycles, he kind of lost that edge. He lost that savagery when he becomes civilized. And that's the thing with Amanda was he got a little bit civilized. And then you got here Irene Dania, who's an up-and-coming fighter, who's hungry, who wants the opportunity to fight for a title. I mean, she came in from Invicta a few years in the UFC, and she fought against people like Leslie Peacemaker Smith and also Caitlin Chikagan. She took some losses, but she kind of bounced back. She beat people like, Tania Bellotto, before they cut her from the UFC, and people like Lucy Puvalova. I mean, and then she would be one of my favorite fighters, Betch Correia. I love Betch. Betch, people might not like Betch, but Betch had a booty. And, she had a great personality about Betch. And, I know she's now off to retirement and doing her thing back in Brazil. And, that's much respect to Betch. And then, the one thing that really set her career going when she knocked out Caitlin Vera. Now, people would say, like, well, this was after Caitlin came back from after doing it with injury for about a year or so. But you know what? She knocked out a girl who was pretty much on her way for a title contention. If Caitlin had beaten Irene, it's a good shot that she would have shot a title. But she got derailed. And then, her fight with Holly Holmes, that also took a little bit off of Irene, to lose somebody like Holly Holmes, and, Holly Holmes, just even though, Holly Holmes has evolved a bit. Still some things she's not as good at, especially wrestling and ground game, but she has evolved a little bit. And then her fight with, Yana Kuzskaya kind of gave her a bounce back. Yana, they was talking about Yana was pregnant when she fought Irene. She might have not been diagnosed yet, but because you got to think about it. With a fetus, it takes time for it to start developing and start realizing you're pregnant. And she just put a whooping on Yana. I mean, and then people were just saying again, like, Yana was pregnant when she fought Irene, but then, like I said again, Yana's still not as a good a fighter as she is. I mean, she lost to people like Holly Holmes. I think, she's supposed to fight Holly Holmes soon. And, and also she lost to people like, Cyborg, she beat Caitlin Vera also. And that's two things that her and Irene common. They both beat Caitlin Vera. And, and Amanda, her battle with her first fight with Juliana Pena, that fight, I was really happy. I was happy. It felt like it was revenge for what happened to Cyborg. The people like Batty B and Execution 23 who were so happy with Cyborg got beat. I know they were crying in the car seeing their champion getting, submitted. I mean, I'm telling the truth. I gotta give respect to Juliana Pena. She talked herself to this fight. She wanted it. But I got to sketch with that, And this was a great rivalry. That's what MMA needs, a good rivalry, especially WWE. They need a good rivalry. As they were opposite coaches on that season of Tough 30. That season should have been, instead of making it 125 and heavyweights, it should have been atomweights and 135. They need more blood in 135. And the atomweight division need to come up. Also possibly 145. And Irene, I like this picture of Irene. Irene, oh my God, just, I mean, and, she had some fights coming up, but then, she was fighting Jermaine Duraname. And, Jermaine, she had got injured, and now, she's pregnant. That's the funny thing about this. If I look at relationships, especially when they're a lesbian relationship, it's usually the more feminine of the couple that usually has a baby. But I don't think there might be some issue with Jermaine's wife either. I think she's a little too old, or just that she couldn't carry a baby full of term. That's why Jermaine stepped up. But it's gonna be a while for us to see Go Duck and Run come back. It's gonna be a while. And then the rematch between Amanda and Juliana. I mean, it was a mugging. Juliana was still in the game, committed to fighting, but she was getting mollywopped. Look at that, her head split. Look at Amanda, eating her head like a lion. She smelled fresh blood, and she just chewing on Juliana. And now she's the double champ again. I know she's happy to get a title back. I mean, that's a real true title at 135, not so much 145. It's 135, where she's been champion for such a long time, and it's just one thing we need some new fresh blood in 145 and shoot for the title. And I think somebody like Macy Chase on the move of 145 because she's not doing too well at 135. Irene, beat Macy. Macy's a big girl and submitted her. I think that weight cut is really doing stress on her because Macy is like nearly 6 feet tall. And I think, she's probably a lot bigger. And I think 145 would be a better move for her. I think she will like it, but she keeps staying this narrative that 135 is the best division for her. And this was the opportunity where, people saw that, hey, you know what? We need a better, opportunity for somebody to be a title contender. And that's why they gave it to Irene. And Irene has that. She has the fighter for it, I think that's the fear of Amanda Nunes, that somebody else might beat her, especially somebody who is, like I said, not really that much younger than her. I mean, the truth is, Irene is only 2 months older than Amanda. And now she's fighting, now they say they're supposed to be fighting Peg Leg Pennington. I don't call her Rocky because she lost the right to be called Rocky because of this fight against Amanda Nunes. I mean, Amanda just beat this person supposed to be your friend, you, your wife, and then Nina and Tisha all hanging out together, and you beat your friend Pinnacle Post. And this is why I don't call her Rocky. I'm not talking about Rocky Marciano. I'm talking about Rocky Balboa. That's the Rocky I grew up with, not that other fighter. And she said on her stool and said, "I want to be done." Her corner should have thrown in the damn towel like she's supposed to. If your fighter wants to quit, let him quit. Don't push somebody into a fight. They feel like they're just getting dominated. She got dominated. And it's supposed to be your friend. She beating you like you owe her money. This is crazy. And no one want to see a second fight between Raquel and Amanda. No one want to see that. And no one want to see the second fight between Amanda and Holly. Holly Holm is the old lady at 135. And I think maybe with her age and her body's changing, maybe she should 145. We don't want to see a fight at 145, but hey, it'd be a different title for her because what, that long ago, they created 145 division for Holly Holm, but she lost to Jermaine Duraname. And, she's supposed to have a fight coming up against Yana Kuliskaya, who's coming back after her maternity leave. And it's going to be the fight between, the Cougar versus the MILF, because we all know who's the MILF and we all know who's the Cougar. So, that's a fight I think a lot of guys going to look forward to watching. But like I said, Dana White, I don't know. What does Amanda Nunes have over you? You just released Fresh Nagano, for talking about bringing in maybe more benefits for fighters and all this other stuff. But you keep somebody like Amanda Nunes because she don't want to fight Irene Adania, and she's making both Irene and Raquel fight each other, which, and it just, it wasn't that long ago. You stripped Conor McGregor of his titles. He was both the lightweight title champion, he was both the featherweight title champion. I mean, you stripped him of them, especially after he had that fight with Mayweather and he wasn't fighting anymore. But, it's just, what is Dana White? What does Amanda Nunes have over you? Has she sent Nina onto that jet too many times? Because you think about it, Amanda's not into guys like that, but I think Nina used to have a relationship with dudes. So, and so sometimes you got to send the person, hey, you got to take one for the team. Sitting here with Hype Job Harrison. She's a clown. And, you could do this, Dana. You do, in the men's divisions, create a interim title. Why not? You got a champion that's going to be hard to defeat. Why not create an interim title? You did it. You did it with Cyril Gahn. You had that fight between Cyril Gahn and Derek Lewis, where Cyril Gahn became the interim champion, and Cyril fought for the title and he lost, but still he's a champion. He's the interim champion. So why not have an interim title, like for maybe especially for flyweight? You got Valentina over there, and also for the bantamweight, you can have Irene and Raquel fight for anyone title. You can do that, but you know what? I don't know. Dana White beater, you know, you know. But I think he really will want someone like Irene because that's why he picked Irene over someone like Raquel. Irene, she has more that get and go to her. And even though he's saying again, I said again, Irene is 2 months older than Amanda, but she looks a lot younger. Because, like I said, Amanda's been fighting for a long time, and Irene has that look. Especially she's being Mexican, very popular demographic. Like with Alexa Grasso, she has more of those girl next door looks to her. You know, I think they can probably sell her more as a champion than do Amanda. And I think, like I said, Irene's attractive. Like I said, the other picture I saw where she had an amazing body. She has that look that they can use to promote, especially in 135. And as long as Amanda's been fighting, she's been fighting for, like I said, over maybe nearly 15 years or more. And she is getting a little older, even though she's only 2 months younger than Irene. Although she's a fighter, can really put age on you. A lot of fighters can grow old. And then plus the responsibilities of having a wife and a child and family, that can weigh on you. And Irene, she's young, she's single. I think she's single, I don't know. Maybe somebody can let me know if she is. I think Amanda is probably on her way out. I think Dana probably would like to have somebody else holding that 135 title. You know, I think Amanda reminds me of the character from Lord of the Rings, Spiegel. You know, Spiegel was a hobbit who we found the one ring, he changed and became Gollum. You know, this ugly, evil creature who's like, the rings, my precious, my precious. And that's Amanda Light with that title. I think more with 135 than 145. It's my precious. It's my precious. And she's afraid. It's someone like Irene who's hungry. Probably can come in maybe, especially Irene has good boxing, good stand-up. You know, I hope Irene has good ground game. You know, if she has just a little bit better about ground game than Amanda, Irene could possibly take that title away from her. And the only title that Amanda had to defend is 145. And 145 is a ghost town. Other than Norma Dumont and a couple of girls, and most of those girls but really, this is the thing about UFC. You have a division you could stack up. You can have fighters who love to come to UFC, who can fight. I just saw Chelsea Chandler say she wants to fight in 145. She's more comfortable with 145, and that's the right for her to be fighting 145. Some people feel comfortable with that weight class. They don't have to drain and kill themselves at 135. And Amanda, she did defend that title just as much as she defends 135. But it's just a lot of mess going on, and especially UFC. UFC is prejudiced against bigger girls, and that's why they don't want to recruit them. They want to get girls in between 135 to 115. That's why they don't have 105 division. That's why that season is tough. Instead of being 125 and heavyweight, it should have been atom weight and women's 145. That's why I think it should have been. Or 135 and recruit more bodies. They need it because it's pretty much a dying division. Even though it's the first division they start in UFC, it's a dying division. So, like I said, to double champ, you're ducking the fate. You're afraid that this person might, pull off a fluke win like Julia Pena did, or just really much. I don't know, you scared of something. You delayed fights before. That fight against your first fight against Valentina Shevchenko, I think the rematch, I believe. But it's just like I said, that's why I'm not a fan of this woman. She is a ducker. And she's ducking an opportunity for a good fight. She probably want to wait to fight in like December like she usually does. She's not like Valentina. Valentina can't sit around and wait, for a fight. She wants to fight. She wants to be active. That's why I respect the bullet, because she wants to be an active fighter. This double champ, I just don't stand up. And I know Exeguchi 23, you have weird dreams about her, but hey, man, this chick don't turn me on at all. But like I said, much respect my brother Executive 23. We have different opinions of this person, but I respect his choices. But like I said, his fighter is a double champ and a lion ass queen. Anyway, it's me on our Rangers page, aka the Emperor of WWE Talk. Mike, don't like subscribe. I'm a lion ass queen.